Welcome to the Master English Speaking Podcast. I'm Tom, and I'm super excited to be here with you all today, ready to dive into another great topic.
And I'm Emma. It's always a pleasure, Tom. How's your week been so far? Mine's been a bit of a whirlwind, honestly. Lots of new words flying around in my head from a book I just finished.
Oh, a whirlwind. I like that. You know, that's actually a perfect lead-in for today's topic, because sometimes, with all those new words flying around, they also fly right out of your head, don't they?
Absolutely. It's probably one of the biggest frustrations I hear from English learners. They spend so much time learning new vocabulary, writing it down, maybe even using flashcards. And then, poof, the next day, or even a few hours later, the word is just gone. Or it's on the tip of their tongue, but they can't quite grab it.
Exactly. That tip of the tongue feeling is the worst. You know it, but your brain just won't give it up. So today, we're tackling that head on. We're going to share some really simple, practical, and effective strategies to help you not forget English words while you're learning. We want to help you make those words stick.
Yes, make them stick like superglue. We've all been there, right? I remember vividly trying to memorize long lists of words from a textbook when I was learning Spanish, and it felt like such a chore. And then I'd forget half of them by the next lesson. It was so demotivating.
It really can be demotivating, and that's often because we're not learning in the most effective way for our brains. Our first big tip, and it's a foundational one, is to learn words in context, not in isolation.
Oh, this is a game changer. Instead of just seeing benevolent and its definition, try to find it in a sentence, or even better, a whole story. When you see a word used naturally, your brain makes connections.
Right. Think about it. When you learned your first language, you didn't learn from a dictionary, did you? You heard words being used by your parents, your family, in different situations. You heard bottle when you were thirsty and someone gave you milk. You heard hello when someone came to the door. That's context.
Exactly. So for English, when you encounter a new word, don't just write it down. Write down the whole sentence it was in. Or even better, try to create 2 or 3 of your own sentences using that new word. Make them about your life, something personal. That helps your brain own the word.
Absolutely. For example, if you learn the word commute, don't just learn commute equals travel to work. Think, I commute by train every morning. Or, my commute is usually 30 minutes. Connect it to your own experience. That makes it real and much easier to recall later.
Our next tip builds on this idea of making things stick, and it's called spaced repetition. This sounds fancy, but it just means reviewing words at increasing intervals.
Yeah, it's about tricking your brain a little. Instead of reviewing a word 10 times in 1 hour and then forgetting it, you review it once today, then maybe tomorrow, then in 3 days, then a week, then 2 weeks. Your brain gets the message that, hey, this word keeps coming back. It must be important.
There are some amazing apps that do this for you, like Anki or even Quizlet. They use algorithms to show you words you're struggling with more often, and words you know well less often. It's incredibly efficient. This is how I finally conquered those pesky Spanish verbs.
Definitely. And speaking of testing yourself, our third tip is all about active recall. This is different from just rereading your notes.
Yes, active recall means you're actively trying to retrieve the information from your memory. Instead of looking at a flashcard that says benevolent on one side and the definition on the other, try to cover the definition. Can you remember it? Can you use it in a sentence? If not, then look.
It's like a mini test every time. When you force your brain to remember something without cues, it strengthens that memory pathway. Think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Just passively reading is like just looking at weights. You have to lift them to get stronger.
That's a great analogy, and it doesn't just apply to flashcards. If you're reading an article and you learn a new word, try to explain that word to yourself in your own words later in the day, or try to summarize a paragraph using some of the new vocabulary you just learned.
Which leads us nicely into our fourth strategy. Immerse yourself as much as possible. This means surrounding yourself with English. Read in English, listen to podcasts like this one in English, watch TV shows and movies in English.
This is so powerful. When you're constantly exposed to English, you encounter words multiple times in different contexts. This natural exposure is incredibly effective for solidifying vocabulary. You don't even realize you're studying because you're just enjoying something.
Exactly. You see a word in a book, then you hear it in a song, then you see it in a movie. Each time, your brain reinforces that word without you feeling like you're doing heavy lifting. And don't worry if you don't understand every single word. That's totally normal. Focus on understanding the main idea.
The key is consistent exposure. Even 15-20 minutes a day of listening or reading can make a huge difference over time. And hey, while you're immersing yourself, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for the Master English Speaking podcast. That way you won't miss any of our future tips.
Yes, absolutely. Subscribe now, it helps us a lot. Now, tip number 5 is to use the words actively. It's not enough to just recognize them. You need to produce them.
This means speaking and writing. Try to incorporate new words into your conversations, even if it feels a little awkward at first. Start with simple sentences. Today, I had a delicious meal. Use delicious instead of just good if delicious is a new word you're practicing.
Right, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn. If you have a language partner or a tutor, tell them you're trying to practice new vocabulary. They can help you use them correctly and give you feedback.
Also, writing. Keep a journal in English, send emails in English, or even just write short stories. The act of forming sentences and putting words down on paper or screen helps solidify them in your memory.
My 6th tip is about personalization. Connect new words to your own life, your feelings, your experiences. This is similar to context, but it's even more personal.
Oh, this is powerful because our brains are wired to remember things that are emotionally significant or personally relevant. If you learn the word elated, instead of just saying elated very happy, think about a time you felt really, really happy. Like, I was absolutely elated when I got accepted into university.
Yes, exactly. Or if you learn meticulous, maybe you think about a friend who is super organized and careful, and you say, my friend Sarah is very meticulous about her work. When you link a word to an image, a memory, or a person, it becomes much more memorable.
Our 7th tip is really useful for longer, more complex words. Break them down. Many English words come from Latin or Greek and have roots, prefixes, and suffixes that can give you clues about their meaning.
This is brilliant because it helps you understand not just one word, but often a whole family of words. For example, pre-P means before, so preview is to view before, prepaid is paid before. Aud often means hear, so auditorium is a place for hearing, audible means able to be heard.
It's like having a secret code. Once you learn a few common prefixes and suffixes, you can often guess the meaning of a new word, or at least get a strong idea. This makes learning new words less intimidating and more like a puzzle.
And it also helps you remember them, because you're not just memorizing a random string of letters, you're understanding its building blocks. Tip number 8 is to use visual aids and mnemonics.
This is where you can get really creative and even a little silly. A mnemonic is a memory aid. For example, if you want to remember accommodate has 2 C's and 2 M's, you could think, accommodate, 2 sats 2 mice. The sillier the better, honestly, because silly things are often memorable.
I love that. For visuals, you can draw a simple picture next to a new word in your notebook. If you learn giggle, maybe draw a funny cartoon face laughing. Our brains love images, and they connect words to those images, making them stickier.
Even just imagining a word can help. If you learn serene, close your eyes for a second and imagine a calm lake or a peaceful forest. Create that mental picture. This is especially good for abstract words that are hard to draw.
Our 9th piece of advice is important, especially for beginners. Focus on high-frequency words first. Don't try to learn every single word in the dictionary at once.
Yes, there are lists of the most common 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000 English words. These words make up a huge percentage of everyday conversations and texts. Mastering them first gives you a strong foundation and a massive boost in confidence.
It's like building a house. You don't start with the fancy decorations, you start with the strong foundation and walls. Once you have those essential words, it becomes much easier to add more specialized vocabulary later.
And finally, our 10th and probably most crucial tip, be patient and consistent. Learning a language, and especially building a strong vocabulary, is a marathon, not a sprint.
You won't learn 500 words overnight and remember them all forever. It just doesn't work that way. It's about small, regular efforts. Consistency is key. Better to study for 15 minutes every day than for 3 hours once a week.
Absolutely. And there will be days when you feel frustrated, when you forget words you thought you knew. That's okay. It happens to native speakers too. Don't let it discourage you. Just keep showing up, keep trying, and celebrate your small victories.
Yeah, honestly, the more you practice these strategies, the more natural they'll become, and the more words you learn and use, the easier it gets to remember new ones. Your brain actually gets better at learning vocabulary over time.
Think of it like clearing a path in a forest. The first time you walk through, it's hard, but the more you walk it, the clearer and easier the path becomes. That's your memory pathway for English words.
So, to recap really quickly, learn words in context, use spaced repetition, practice active recall, immerse yourself, use words actively by speaking and writing, personalize your learning, break down complex words, use visuals and mnemonics, focus on high-frequency words, and most importantly, be patient and consistent.
Those are 10 solid strategies that, if you apply them, will really transform how well you remember English vocabulary. No more forgetting words right after you learn them, or at least much less forgetting. Remember, it's a journey.
Exactly. And we're here to help you on that journey. If you found these tips helpful, please make sure to subscribe to the Master English Speaking podcast. It really supports us and helps other learners find these valuable episodes.
Yes, hit that subscribe button right now and tell your friends who are also learning English. We love hearing from you too, so feel free to leave us a review or send us your questions. What's your favorite tip for remembering words?
We'd love to know. All right, Emma, this was a fantastic chat. I hope everyone out there feels a bit more confident about tackling their English vocabulary.
Me too, Tom. Keep practicing, keep learning, and don't give up. You've got this. Until next time, happy learning, everyone.
Bye for now.